What is going on, everybody? In today's video, we are checking out a ZMI runecrafting guide, or the Ourania altar. Either way, whichever one you call it, it's still the same thing. Now, this is great experience and semi-AFK, so it's not a bad method to use to get all the way to 99 runecrafting if you so choose. So in this guide, we're going to check out experience rates, the setup, and how you do this the most efficiently so you can get the best XP per hour. Before we get started, if you didn't know, I do have a merch store. It is over on Etsy. Everything in this store is handmade personally by me in my office at home and shipped directly to you. If you haven't heard me say this before, well, I'm going to say it again. I have turned off all other forms of monetization for this channel. So if you would like to support the channel, the best way to do so is to buy something from the merch store. I don't like the fact that people donate money and do channel memberships to just throw their money away. I think that you should get something in return that's tangible you can hold in your hand for your support. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description below. You can check out that merch store. Also, if you like Pokemon, I do have a Pokemon YouTube channel. You can also find a link in the description below to that channel. It's super duper appreciated if you subscribed. All right, so let's get started with this ZMI runecrafting guide. The first thing that we are going to check out is the experience rates, because we don't want to get too far into this video and then have you decide, well, I don't even like this because I don't like the experience rate. So that's the first thing that we're going to check out. So up on the screen now is our experience rates from level 1 all the way to level 95. So it'll range from 20,000 XP, level 1 to 9. And then about level 50 to 59, you're up to 42,000 XP. About level 80, 84, 58,000. And at level 99, you can expect 77,000-ish experience if you're using regular pure essence. Now, you'll also see on this chart the day alt essence. And if you don't know what that is, it's a different form of essence that you can mine from the day alt essence mine after the Sins of the Father quest. And it does give you additional XP while runecrafting. But it's not always the best thing to do. Now, level 75 to 79 is the closest comparison to 4,000 essence used per hour, which is the general rate of day alt essence fragments that you can mine 4,000 per hour. So if you spend 1 hour mining day alt to get to 4,000 day alt essence and then 1 hour runecrafting, you've only gotten yourself roughly 85,000 experience in the runecrafting skill in those 2 hours. But if you just ignore the fact that day alt gives more experience than pure essence and spend those 2 hours doing runecrafting at the ZMI altar rather than splitting it with mining, you have then gained yourself around 114,000 runecrafting experience in that 2 hours. So to me, day alt essence, it's not a game changer. Sure, you can get mining experience while acquiring it, but only about 8,500 mining experience in an hour. So not really worth it. To me, you should probably just stick to pure essence and go the semi-AFK route of the ZMI runecrafting. All right, so now that you've seen the experience rates, and if you're still here, you're probably still interested. So let's go over the requirements, what your inventory and gear setup are going to look like. So the first thing you need to know is you have to have the Lunar Diplomacy quest to make this efficient. So if you have that done, you will then be able to cast the Ourania teleport at level 71 magic. And that will take you right to the Ourania or ZMI altar so you can get this underway. I would also recommend that you might want to have 50 plus runecrafting. For decent experience rates, you can get to level 50 very easily by just doing air talismans, or I'm sorry, air tiaras. Creating those, you can get up to level 50 pretty quickly. 50 plus runecrafting will give you some decent runecrafting experience per hour at a semi-AFK pace. Another recommendation to have is going to be the medium Ardoin diary, and if having that done, it will give you a little bit of bonus XP every time you craft some runes. Now let's talk about your gear setup. So on the screen now, you can see what I used when I did ZMI runecrafting. Now the full graceful set is very nice to have because you are going to be running a lot. Now alternatively, you could use the Guardians of the Rift runecrafting outfit for a little bit more bonus runecrafting experience. But since you're going to be running a whole lot, I would recommend having the graceful, but you do have the option to use stamina potions. So if you want to use those a little more often, it's really up to you. I would use graceful. As for the defensive gear that you see, Amulet of Fury and the Elysian Spirit Shield, there are some NPCs in the cave that you're going to be running through that will damage you while you're running. Now, if you're doing this on the official ZMI Runecrafting worlds, it's very rare that you'll take a lot of damage that's going to bring you down. If you're doing it by yourself in a world where you're not able to semi-AFK, you're definitely going to want to have some defensive gear. The Dust Battle Staff will provide you with air and earth runes, which are necessary to cast the NPC contact spell. So when your rune pouches degrade, you can cast that spell from wherever you are, talk to the Dark Mage, and he will repair your pouches remotely, if you will. The last item you'll see is a dueling ring. Now, when you're of a lower rune crafting, there is a chance that you might not craft a law rune to teleport back to the beginning of the run. So it is rare, but it does happen. So I would suggest having a dueling ring for a quick teleport to Castle Wars to grab another law rune, teleport back to the ZMI altar. Over in the inventory, you will see my 4 rune pouches because I'm lazy and I haven't done Guardians of the Rift yet to get the Abyssal Needle to make the Colossal pouch. So all of the pouches you have available to you, take those and use those. I have 1 law rune to get the trip started, so that'll take me to the ZMI altar when I'm ready to go. And the last item, very simple, rune pouch. If you don't have the one from the Tombs of Amasket that you can hold 4 different types of runes in, that is perfectly okay. And we're going to go over why in just a bit. But in my rune pouch, I do have astral runes, cosmic runes, and air runes, as well as mind runes. So if you want to set it up that way, perfectly fine. If you don't, just make sure you have the maximum amount of air runes in the pouch, which would be 16,000. All right, so now that we have all of that set up, let's go ahead and get started with our trip. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to use the Ourania teleport and head over to the ZMI altar. Once you get here, you just want to follow the path up the hill to the altar, and there's going to be a trapdoor up here, and we'll just go right in that. All right, so here is our banker, and this is important. So what we're going to do here, before we start banking, we're just going to check our settings here and make sure that we have fill and empty options. So right now, the fill option is available. So if you don't have that and you want to swap your left click to fill, just hold the shift key on your keyboard, right click a rune pouch, swap to left click, and make sure that it is set to fill. Now here, what we have to do is we're going to talk to this banker. You're going to be able to pay him to use the bank with a certain type of rune. And the easiest way to do this is to use some sort of elemental rune or mind runes, because those are the cheapest. So that would be the third option. I'd like to talk to you about quick payment details. And you'll go through the dialogue and you would say, I would like to cancel for me because I'm going to show you guys this. And then we're going to talk to him again really quickly. And we're going to select a new one just so you can see it. So this is what you'll see, and you can choose your runes that you want to pay with. I'm going to be using mind runes because I have over 500,000 of them. So I'm just going to select that. Now, every time I bank with him, it's automatically going to deduct those mind runes from my rune pouch. So I'll go ahead and talk to him, and I can open the bank. Now we see over here, we have fill as our option. And then I'm just going to come in, grab some essence, fill up my inventory, and just start filling my rune pouches. And once they're all filled up and I have all the essence in my inventory and everything like that, I'm good to go to start this trip. Now I can go ahead and close, and then we see now the options are set to empty. So when you have the runes or the rune essence in your inventory, you can also do the same thing. Hold shift, right click, swap to left click, empty. One more thing that I'm going to go over before we get into the runecrafting run is going to be the deposit lock setting. So if you didn't know about this, well, you're about to learn. So what you'll see here in my inventory is my essence pouches and my rune pouch have a red box around them. And that is because they are locked. They are not allowed to be deposited into my bank. So if you didn't know about this and you want to set it up, you can come up here into the top right and show the menu, and then go into your deposit lock settings. Now you see I have 5 of them selected right now. You'll want to make sure the option for enable inventory locks is on, and also the show right click option. So if you do happen to right click and you'd like to unlock a slot, you can do that and then relock it very quickly. So if we go into the deposit lock settings, you want to make sure that you have your essence pouches selected as well as your rune pouch. That way, when you are done with a run and banking to get more essence, you can simply deposit your inventory and none of your items that you have locked will go in the bank. Makes it super convenient to bank quickly. No more bank fillers filling up your bank in order to stop things from getting deposited. So after taking the time to actually use my brain and sort the worlds by what they're called, world 480 is what you're looking for, and that is the United States world. World 327, the German world, doesn't usually have anybody in it. So now that we are ready to get started with this, see, all we can see here is people running. So we're just going to start running, and we're just going to pick someone, and we're just going to follow them. And this is all we have to do. We're going to follow them all the way to the altar, make our runes, and sometimes you have to be the runner. If there's a gap, sometimes you just have to do the clicking to run. Other people will follow you, so you give and you get. Sometimes you'll be able to follow all the way, and sometimes you have to run. Either way, you're still going to make it. So once we get here, we're just going to craft our runes just as normal, empty our pouches, craft some more runes, and we're done. And then we're going back to Ourania, teleport to start our trip over. And this runecrafting method is literally as easy as that. So you got a few seconds in between your runs as you are following someone to the altar to focus on other things, watch a Netflix show, whatever you want to do. Now, if your run energy does happen to get low, just make sure you have some stamina potions in the bank, stamina pot up, and continue on with your trip. So in this video, we have covered everything that you need to know about ZMI runecrafting. I hope this video has been informative for you, and if it so pleases you, this might be the runecrafting method for you to get all the way to 99. Now, nobody's saying you have to do ZMI runecrafting all the way to 99, but if you'd like a change of pace from Guardians of the Rift or from Zaya runecrafting, entirely up to you. It's just another method that is out there. As always, guys, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. And if you like the content like this, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.